Hello.
Hello?
Hi, Miles.
Yeah, look, I had a lot of trouble calling you there. I've been messed around with Skype, and I was
Yeah.
going to listen to a thing that Sasha Stone's doing right now. I'm recording this, so I'm just
Okay.
going to switch him off. He's making a noise
Sure.
in the background. He's channeling General Stubblebine. 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Oh,
well, hello. How?
yes. How you doing, Miles? I've watched a couple of your videos, over the years, and something always pulled me to you and that James Casball guy. You go, why am I getting pulled to these two for a reason? So I would make a note of it, put it in the back of my head, and then just go about my business. And then I get led to you guys again. And then when about last year, about in the summer, I listened to a George Norrie on the internet. George Norrie was interviewing James in like 2007.
Yes,
Okay.
I remember that.
Okay. And this is
And
what
in
I was
fact,
identifying.
I stayed up all, it was very early in the morning for us here.
Wow. Wow. Because I'm listening to that interview, Miles, and I almost fell off my chair because he was my link. This is what exactly happened to me. I was used in that program in Montauk. Okay.
Okay,
And I had,
explain what program it is, who you are, and
okay.
why. Just tell us the background.
Sure, sure. My name is Peter. Okay, okay.
I
And as
am
a kid,
recording this, and I
okay,
plan to put it on YouTube. Okay,
sure, okay.
okay.
And
Are you okay
when
with
I
that?
was a child,
Okay,
yeah, sure, sure,
good.
absolutely. Okay.
Go
And
ahead.
when I was a child, okay, I was taken. Okay, they must have taken me like when I went to school. Okay, because the way James was described, like they're plugged in with the schools and everything. So when we went on trips, okay, they took me to this underground facility a couple of times. Okay, and then they wanted, because I guess I was valuable to them. They started coming towards the house to me in our front life, like when I wasn't at school. Okay. And I was with my father one time. We were on vacation, and he's like, Peter, there's a group of people. They're looking at you. Go chase your brother around here. I want to see what they do. So they were starting to come around me with my father and mother, and that's a no-no because my father carried a gun. I don't want to get into it, but he carried a gun. He's a tough guy. They would never get access to me around him. Okay. So,
So
and
where
they
is
try to
this?
kidnap.
Where's all
This
this
is
happening?
okay. I grew up. I'm in Pearl River. It's a suburb right outside New York City, and the Montauk base is only about 2.5 hour drive from here. It's not that far.
Well, I have to
Okay.
say that personally, I've had a calling about Montauk. I've had a number of people mention that to me in the
Oh,
last few
okay.
weeks. So
Okay.
maybe we're guided
He's
to do this. So go ahead.
That's right. That's right. There's no doubt. And I was used. James is making it clear. It's like a genetic link. It's like someone handed you. When I listen to James, it's like someone every 20 minutes handing you a briefcase of $1 million because he's explaining my life and what happened to me. And then that
Okay, the context here is that James Casbolt was in jail just down the road from where I live. I
yeah,
understand that the Home Secretary in the United Kingdom here, Priti Patel,
yeah,
has made it. He is forbidden to talk to me or anybody from Bases,
really,
and I think he got released into secure custody. He should have been free about 3 years ago. And
yeah.
I have a note from him saying, "I just want to get free and live my life." So
I know they
whatever's
ruined
going
my
on,
life.
so that's the context. So this is all interesting in terms of things.
Right.
Okay, I'll be quiet again.
Okay, okay. So I was used in that program. We were called Platinum Blues. Okay, because if they're tracing the bloodlines, which apparently they did. Okay, I'm descended from those royal Germanic bloodlines. Okay, the German comes from my grandmother's side. They're aristocratic families, and my mother's Polish Ashkenaz. That's where this lost tribe of Israel comes from. I can't explain it, but I'm like, I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish, but I was raised in a Protestant church, and it didn't make sense. But now listen to James, it makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. And that Platinum Blues, we were sought after because we contain Pleiadian genetics. That's why they use us. Okay, and they try to kill me, Miles. I was poisoned. I almost died last year, the year before. I was rushed to the hospital. I'm 47 years old. I think I'm like 6 months older than James. Okay, so we're right around the same age. I'm healthy. I'm strong, and they wiped me out. They poisoned me. I almost died.
What did they poison you with? Because I've had that experience myself.
I don't know. I never throw up. I was throwing up violently. I never throw up, and I couldn't breathe. They were squeezing me out because of the work that I was led to and what I'm doing. That's what I believe. Okay, they don't want it done, so that's why they're trying to kill me and squeeze me out. There's no other explanation.
Well, tell us
okay?
what it's all about. What happened?
So I'm getting led to. This is what happened. So say in the past 5 years, 6 years, I've been led to these vortexes of energy, the ley lines, and led to close them. Okay, my job is to close them. No one or nothing comes through, nothing. And this force leads me to the places, and they don't want them closed. They protect it, and they'll do anything to keep this thing and their shenanigans going, so to speak. And then when I come in, I shut them down. And that's all I've been doing for the.
What shenanigans? What's exactly going on?
They want those astral gates open to bring stuff through. They want the darkness in, and they want the scramble, so to speak. Okay, so and I shut them down, and I shut those energy in those portal centers down. No one or nothing comes through. I've been shutting them down in Nevada. I'll give you the states that I've been doing them. Las Vegas
everything,
area.
much detail as possible.
Okay. In Las Vegas and in Colorado, I've been led to a lot of work in Colorado. I hit a couple of bases. The one under by Denver Airport, and the one out in Colorado Springs. I've been doing a lot of energy work to shut those places down. And I've been having help, so to speak.
Explain.
The good guys. These blue avians, I believe, showed up. They showed up in my backyard when I hit this nest down here in New York.
I think you also talked about blue grays as well.
Yes. Okay. In here in New York, when I came back, because this is our family of origin house, but I've lived all over. But I've been back here, say, since September, and I say, where's the pulling coming from? So I'm getting led, and I'm doing the energy work, the warrior work towards the place where if you think say a big quadrant, like a big parking lot, like a big Walmart parking lot, the energy's just draining. If you have the drain open in the sink, it doesn't matter what you do because it's pulling and sucking everything out. So my work has been led to lately is shutting those drains down, okay, and where is it pulling from and where their siphoning points are. And there was a huge siphoning point right down the street from our house here. It's pulling and sucking everything. And I'm doing the energy work for 5 months, and then finally, boom, it broke through. These blue avians show up in my backyard right next to me, Miles. I swear to God. I tell you the God's honest truth. And I believe they're the good guys helping us to shut down those energy things that were being siphoned off us. It was a big battle here.
Explain.
Explain more. How that energy, like I said, where we have these energy lines, these ley lines, it's pulling and sucking. It's causing Alzheimer's in people's. It's erasing people's memories and energy. It's not coming from within people. It's coming from the energy systems like the ley lines and the outer, and they're very strong. Okay, and I'm only one person trying to shut them down, but we shut this one down. And Miles, the insectoids and the spider ones, we got them too. We quarantined them. Okay, it's like when you walk through everywhere, you walk through spider webs. I nailed the spiders and the insectoids. They're gone. They're not here anymore.
Okay, when you say something, could you go as much into the background, all the detail within that arena that when you say it? What do you mean insectoids? What do you mean spiders?
Okay.
There's good spiders, bad spiders, whatever.
I saw these insectoids like my higher eye. Okay, because they're interdimensional. You can't see them physically, okay? So these insectoids were like a gray insectoid race. They're like, they have that kind of energy. And then you have the spiders where when you walk, you physically feel like you're walking into a spider web. And there's a grid system also, Miles, that I was shown. Like a very if you take a, like you ever see one of those balls of, they're like made out of rubber bands? But it's like the size of it's the size of a softball, but it's all interwoven, like layer upon layer upon layer, all made out of rubber bands. You ever see one of those things? Okay, that's what I was shown. And this energy, we're inside this thing that was overlaid here. So this grid is keeping us in a kind of vibrational prison lockdown, okay, that we're inside this thing on a DNA level, okay, and these insectoids and spiders, they know how to operate within, and they're sending this crap energy. So what I can do is go back into the grid and then quarantine it all out, okay? I've been learning these techniques that do it over the years, and because I have these genetics inside me that I can do this. Okay, that's why I believe I was sought out in these programs where the other ones weren't. And all those kids are dead. There were 70 to 80 children used in this project called Platinum Blues because of who our genetics are, and the majority of them are dead. I think James is the only one that survived. I don't know.
Okay, explain the programs. Explain what do you mean by the programs? They
use my consciousness, who I am, my DNA. They use me as a probe to locate things and find things. This is what they do to me. They do operations off me, Miles.
Who is they?
The military-industrial complex. That's the best thing I can think of. Okay, I watch them do this. Okay, when I'm in Las Vegas, I drive into the park, right, to do an exercise, right. I can't drive back. The whole road's shut down. They do whole operations off me. Then I see guys in black ops with rifles coming down the hills. Because of my genetics, they do operations off me. They can open gates. They seem to like to open the gates off my genetic, and I close them. Okay, but they seem to like to keep them open from what I can do.
So
which is the complete opposite.
Explain which. Can you put names, dates, times? Details of who they are.
I would say definitely the military-industrial complex back in 2018 in the greater Las Vegas area. They run operations over the people like unbelievable out there. That's a big den for the military-industrial complex out there. There's no doubt.
What sort of operations? There's a few operations happened out there.
Okay, for instance, I'm driving down, right? I go into like a park, like in the Red Rock Park. I just drive in for a couple of minutes, right? Then I want to pull back out and drive back out. There's sheriffs, everything blocking the road, right? So I'm like, what are you doing, right? So I drive back around. A Jeep Cherokee flashing me with no one knows me, Miles. I'm telling you, I have no friends. No one knows I'm there. Nothing, right? So a Jeep is driving the other way, and I'm driving down the road. The thing's flashing me to pull over, right? So I pull to the side and roll down my window. It's a blonde lady with blue eyes, short, stocky freckle. Okay, this is another thing, okay? And she's telling me, she looks like she's coming from the houses over there. And I'm like, yeah, they can't keep the roads blocked down, you know? And she's like, no, yeah, they can. I think there was a helicopter crash in the mountains. This is what she's telling me. This is why this is why they shut down the road, because of the helicopter crash in the mountains. I'm like, oh, yeah. And I know she's lying to me because I can tell people lying the way they look, right? So I'm like, can I get to a gas station, right? She's like, I don't know how far they are away. So I'm like, okay, all right, see you later. So I drive. Then the next day, okay, I drive around the same place. There's no cop cars there, and there's a helicopter laying on the side of the road, like a small helicopter, okay? It doesn't make sense what they do. I think they're cloaked, and the woman that I saw, those are probably a reptilian.
Now, why do you come up with that? Why should a blonde lady out of a Cherokee be a reptilian? Why? Explain why that.
Meaning she's not a. Let me rephrase this. I believe that they're another race. Okay, they're off to know that a little enough that they're off. Okay, there's something wrong about it. And then I met a male one here in New York in the same kind of car when I was shutting down another portal system. Okay. They show up. So these must be another off-planet ones that are here, okay? And they're watching what I do, okay? They're watching what I would do. They know that I'm in the area. They know what I can do, okay? And then when I drive around, he goes, what are you doing here? This is this guy. I said, what am I doing here? What are you doing here? Who drives a car? Do you ever see a car? Does your cars in UK have a front and back license plate?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, we live in New York here. So one car, they're enough to know that they're off. They're a little off. One plate in the front's got a New York plate, and then the back plate in the Jeep got a New Jersey plate. Who drives with two different plates on the car? I know that they're off. And then I challenge them. I go, I see you before you see me. So go tell your boss you're all quarantined. Oh, and they get pissed, and he drives off. So they're probably off-planet ones, but
why do you say they're off-planet? Just because somebody's got disagreeing? I mean, my understanding about American license plates is you don't actually need one on the front, or do you? I mean, we don't understand that. You've got to have both in Europe, in the UK.
Yeah, you got to have both. But who drives with two different states? They're off. Like no one drives with a New York plate and a New Jersey plate in the back. No one does that. Okay, I know enough to know.
I've seen a hell of a lot of US cars with no plate on the front.
No, they have license plates, but they're off to enough that I can detect that they're off. It doesn't make sense. Okay, and I spot them. I spot the ones who are watching me. I spot them, and I tell them, and I shoo them out. Okay, they're blockheads. I can tell you the physical what they look like. They're like short, stocky blockhead people. Okay, they're a little off to know that they're off, and I think those ones are the ones that like answer to like the Bushes because that committee at 300 they must be answering to an off-planet one here. Okay, as far as I can know. And so they're monitoring things, but they can't stop my work. They see my work. They know what I can do and my capabilities, but I always get a pass, so to speak. You understand?
No. What do you mean by a pass?
Like they can, I guess they can do things if they have weapons or something, but they know what I do and they can't stop my work because of who I represent. They can't stop my work. My work has to go through, and I shut their operations down, and they get pissed.
How do you shut them down?
Because the portal systems, I can control the portal and the access gates where the others can't because they don't know what they're doing. And no one or nothing comes through. No one or nothing comes through, Miles. Even the CERN things are getting shut down. No one, no objects, nothing, no creatures, nothing or no one comes through. Okay? They're monsters. Okay? And all their systems are getting shut down, especially how they steal energy from us. Okay? There's a lot of interviews, about a lot of different people saying stuff, but no one knows how to stop it. And that's the work that I've been led to, is how to stop it. Okay? That's all.
Can you explain more about how you were trained or what was involved with Montauk or whatever?
Okay, that trip seat, when they hit you with frequencies, okay? They target your chakra areas, different parts, okay? And they whap you. But okay, no matter how much time they turn up the generators, the frequency generators, it would just bounce off me because we're pure people. No matter how, it's like firing a BB gun at a tank. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much the NSA turns up the generator, it just goes ka-dink, ka-dink, and I walk right through them.
So you're special. You're special in that regard, then.
In that regard, yes, and they know that. That's why they used us there. And the majority of the kids are all dead. I'm a survivor. I guess maybe because of my father.
So can you name any of the other kids or what were you involved with?
I remember. I have memories of kids. There was a lot of girls. Believe it or not, there was young females used in the program too. There was young girls used in the program.
And can you name the program or where it happened?
I believe Montauk, and the name of the specific program I was used. We were known as digital children or star children, but the specific program that I was used with, that we would call Platinum Blues, because that specific group of children, 70 to 80 kids, we're descended of the Royal European bloodlines, and the bloodline's important because it comes from the German side of my father, the Wagner family in Germany. They're like aristocratic families, so they can read the bloodlines, and the PSI level comes from your ability to be empathic, the more you can feel. And the star children were the very loving kids. That's who I was. And they inject you with drugs and they change you because of that. It's so insidious what they did to me. But James, he made it 1,000% clear of how they used me. It's unbelievable.
Did you ever meet James?
I've never met him. No, I've never met him in my life. Okay. I've never even been to the UK or nothing. I've been to Asia. my studies have led me to Japan. I spent a while in Japan, you know.
Okay, well, why don't you tell us all about that?
I was led to another royal Japanese family who I spent a lot of time with. It would be like the equivalent, like when James, you see James with these Rothschilds. I just met a Japanese royal family, and they kind of like took me under their wings, so to speak. I
Can
can
you
do healing.
explain details?
Yes, I have machines. I was trained in I don't know if you've known about infrared and the infrared and the electromagnetic spectrum. How I have certain machines that are calibrated within micron lanes, and we can target tumors and heal them very fast. Like I was exposed to all this healing stuff. It's unbelievable through this one family.
Explain about the healing stuff. Can you give in any details as to what was involved there?
Yes. I have the doctor that I train with and I live with in Japan. They're from royal Japanese bloodlines also. Okay. And the machines that we have, the micron wavelengths, you're talking about on the infrared spectrum, we can target necrotic, the cancer cells in the various organs and heal them very fast with no side effects. I have the machines right now in front of me. Like,
do you have any names for those machines?
Yes, it's called Onetsuki, Onetsuki, or Onetsuki machine that uses far infrared. And I actually went to a school, like a trade school in outside Tokyo, to learn this therapy. You know, I experienced. There's a lot of cool stuff that happened in my life. You know, I'm 47 now, but there's no doubt that I was using that program called Platinum Blues. That's the code name that we were used under.
I mean, are you able to
100%.
say anything about the details of the Japanese families, or do they have any connections with Red Dragon Society or White Dragon or whatever?
They're those the Tatsumura family. They're not. They were that family specifically that I worked with. They were the ones that made they would be like the Gucci's here. They made the kimonos, the silk kimonos for all the emperors, all that line going down there. And those family, they were into the silk. They're the Tatsumura silk family. They're a very pronounced, royal family in Japan that's connected to the emperor for thousands of years. I have no explanation of how I got connected with this, but it's making perfect sense now.
What's making sense and what didn't make sense before that?
Well, because how I was connected to all these people and all these events that happened in my life. I'm like, why should I be around these people? And yet I was. And then and then a whole nother part about when you hear James and this narcotic stuff, I've met it's just how it is. I got a friend here. They were heavily into the narcotics trafficking. They're all dead now. But, I've met all different types of people.
Did you have any photographs or anything over the years which you could send, to illustrate this? Yes, I have like stuff for Japan. I have me standing right here in downtown Tokyo. But I've met Kerry Cassidy briefly at one of the events back in like 2010. Okay. I smoked 2 cigars personally with Bob Dean, and I got I spent hours with him. The UFO Congress?
Yes. That one was in Paradise Valley in Arizona, that one.
Yeah. Okay. I think that was the first year of it.
Yes. It was like the first year because it used to be at in Laughlin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, and I met what's his name? I met Bob Dean for the first time in Laughlin. There, I waved to him while he was eating a diner. But I met Wendell right before he died. I met Wendell Stevens.
Yeah, great guy, Wendell.
Great, yeah, and David Serrata, another awesome guy. I was at his booth for like a half hour.
Yeah, I think he was. I think maybe he'd been speaking that year.
Yeah, he's smart. He knows it. Now listen to this, Miles. This is what I'm telling you right now. But because I want to set people free. This COVID, the 19 has got nothing to do with the strand of the virus. Okay.
Now, this is when we get banned on YouTube immediately. So what are you going to talk about the whole COVID thing?
I'm not going to talk about the COVID thing. I just want to tell you the number and why they use it. Okay. That's all, because I know. Okay. There was an interview recently between on George Norrie with John Lear and Richard Hoagland. Okay. And he talks about he talks about they found on the moon something called the INA formation, INA. and it's made out of pure titanium, that bright silver. It's the only area on the moon where it's the highest, smoothest, that bright silver thing. And it's like 4 miles in the diameter, a big square, right?
This is something that people might be able to listen to. Would you be able to sort of say when that went out on air with George Norrie?
It was, recently, within the past, like maybe 4 months, 5 months. They can find it on YouTube.
We're talking April the 1st, 2021. And I mean, is this an April Fool?
No, sir.
Was it just April the 1st?
No. Oh, yeah, no, I'm so far removed from that, Miles. I would never joke with you ever.
Well, it has to be asked, these things, on April the 1st.
So this interview was given by Richard Hogan on the show, on George Norrie, say about 5 months ago, like in October, November of last year.
Okay, and that was what would have been okay. I know John quite well. I know he's had to move house and things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So what he found is at specifically, listen, this latitude longitude at 19 degrees north, 5 degrees west, which is 19.5. Okay.
Yeah, that's the big. That's the number. That's the hyperdimensional number that Richard Hoagland likes to talk about.
Right, but you don't understand what they're doing. So all that huge Ina formation, that beautiful structure that they dug up on the moon at that specific latitude longitude 19.5, if you can put structures on the moon, the Earth, Mars, and throughout the solar system, probably to at least Saturn, right, at 19.5 at that specific longitude, latitude. But all the structures it's built in direct opposition to who we are. So it's polarized towards the negative. So if you can put a giant, like a belt or a chain around from at least Saturn to here around the solar system at that frequency line, right? It's all sucking. It's pulling towards the negative, okay? But there's no number for 19.5. So they use 19. But because it's polarized to the negative, sucking everything, they invert it and use 91. So that's why when you call 911, you're putting your frequencies and your soul energy into the negative polarized fields. 911, 91. What's the inversion of 91? 19, okay? Look how many times they use 19. That COVID comes, once they use that 19, I know it has nothing to do with the strand, and it's part of their interwoven to their dark art tapestry, part of their black magic. Okay, it's got nothing to do with the strand. I know that for a fact, and it's putting our frequencies into that negative polarized field at that specific longitude, latitude, which the Earth and the whole solar system is in it. Only people don't know. Did you give them So I don't participate in it. I don't put my energy into it. You understand? So now they got the whole planet participating in this ritual, so to speak. You follow?
Yes.
You follow, Miles. That's why I'm calling you, because you're smart. You're on it. You're on it. Okay, so that's what they're doing. That's where the 19 comes from the polarized field. The whole solar system is in it at that frequency. And all the structures and all the buildings are built towards a negative. It's like a negative river, like the toe of the Niagara Falls. If you fall over the Niagara Falls, right, they're putting your energies and your frequencies into it on purpose for a lockdown. Okay, so now they're coming up with 19. How much was the stimulus bill? 1.9 trillion, right? So they're locking you into it. Lockdown.
That's the bill that Trump came up with. Explain what that is, just for the audience.
Well, I'm just saying that's where the 19 comes from. Okay, look at 3 major events that happened with 19. Okay, the 9/11. When did it happen? The buildings fell in New York. When?
Yeah.
On 9/1. On 9/1. What's the inversion of 9/1? 19. So it's the same people. 2017. You had the Las Vegas shooting, right? Harvest Festival. What? 91. What's the inversion of 91? 19. It's the same people. You follow? They're rituals. Yeah, just like this PSYOP. This Atlanta shooting, now this Colorado shooting, they're just PSYOPs, Miles. No one's dead. They're PSYOPs by the CIA and the deep state. That's what I can figure.
So what do you want to achieve by coming out like this and connecting yourself with James
it's just
Casbolt
adding.
the whole Montauk thing?
Well, because they're all dead, Miles. All those children, they just flush them out to sea. I'm praying that there's another survivor or two around here. Okay, they did horrible things to me. I've been on a Social Security disability for like 12 years. Okay, thinking of what the hell's wrong with me like that. These are monsters. What they do. I want to sue the CIA and the NSA for them doing this. They're monsters, and they got all the money.
Do you want to go into what happened without? I mean, I'm asking questions so that we find out what's happened,
Sure.
but that may not necessarily be a good thing for you to remember. So I just need to caution.
Okay, well, no, because I know they compartmentally, they split you off, okay? They try to, you know how they hear about people, how they honeycomb the mind and split it into alters?
Yeah, okay.
We can get it back to one,
people.
right?
Explain that.
Okay, so there's been talk, because when they program you, they split the mind into alters and compartments, right? Like these program assassins and stuff. So if they do it, there's 2,197 compartments into the mind. Okay, that 13 by 13 by 13 cubed, and we can neutralize it very fast because it's 2190. It's the CIA 2197 human beings 1. You just merge it back to the 1, so we get all those frequencies back. Because where did those frequencies go when they split it? They got to be somewhere in the grid. We can pull them back so you can assimilate into a whole intent very fast. Because you have a lot of people out there with fractured mind. That was done to them deliberately. How dare this system do that to people? You know?
Okay, and what was done by who, where?
In the base here, Montauk. Okay. They did many different things to people.
Could you go into more detail about what the base looks like and things like that?
I'm 47 right now. I'm 47 now. I had an in-depth conversation with a man named Stewart Swerdlow in my 20s already. Okay. I was getting going. What were they doing to me? I had a conversation with him for like an hour and a half when I was like 26 years old. Okay, I was getting already led to that because what are they doing to me? He was a survivor there. There's a blonde guy on that thing that's on one of the videos there. He's a blonde blue guy. He looks very, very familiar. Okay, to me, that's the best I can
Duncan?
do. Yes, there's a Duncan guy. Yeah.
So
blonde
have you
hair,
just seen the videos?
Blonde.
I mean, what I have to determine is, have you seen the videos and you're just making this up to get attention, or what?
Oh, no. I would never do that, Miles. No, because I don't even want to go on. Like, I feel comfortable talking to you, but like, I wouldn't even go on camera because they're all dead. They're all dead or in jail. Okay. They try to kill me because of what I can do. I would never do that.
Okay. So, what did you do with Stewart? Stewart obviously was involved with Montauk. He's been on TV. He's been at the UFO Congress, and there's a number of videos of him at the UFO Congress over the years, explaining lots of stuff. He's been on some relatively recent documentaries about this whole thing.
He was helping me. He was helping me to basically to deprogram, okay, and assimilate my frequencies of what they've done. That's the best way I can explain. So he's part of the healing process, Stewart. You know. Because I was only 25 years old when I called him, and he was already in his 40s, you know, coming out and writing the books. So he was like a facilitator for healing for me when I was younger.
Yeah, he did a number of courses, and he's come to England, and it's been in Europe and in places like that. Talking about this stuff.
I met him. That's right. We met him. I met him. He came out to Arizona one time and did a lecture, and I met him at the lecture and talked to him and stuff. Yep.
And without going into any private things, I mean, it's up to you what you want to say about private things, but it seems to.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. So, what was the result of you talking with Stewart?
The result, I just got some information from him. I wanted to know, do they really do this? This is what I feel like was happening to me. Yes. The closest facility that they could ever possibly do to this for me, that they had the capabilities, is Montauk. And I grew up, like I said, I'm only about 2.5 hours from it. So it's very well possible. Yes.
So is there any particular reason why you decided to communicate now in 2021?
I'm stronger than I've ever been. And like I said, the work that I've been getting and doing was pretty much, I was just doing it on my end. Okay. And then I'm like, come on, man, come on. And then I was hitting this area for about 5 months, and then the Galactic showed up. These guys showed up. That's why I'm calling you, because we're having help. Okay.
Okay, let's go into this help. But we've had an awful lot of negative stuff about the whole COVID thing, and everybody's scared to hell.
They're behind it all, Miles. They're behind They're behind it all. They're behind it all. I believe that the deep state's behind it all. Okay, that this strand, I don't want to go into get you pulled down from YouTube or nothing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't want to talk about that, but I can tell you those you were saying, these are blue grays. They are the grays with the almond eyes, but they have very distinct blue skin. It's beautiful, Miles. They have like a beautiful blue. I've never seen these ones ever, and they were right by my side, and they were guts, and I believe that they were helping me on their end, and they helped us neutralize these spiders and insectoids in this den from pulling and sucking all the energy. That's what I believe. I mean, I'm telling you the truth. That's never happened to me before, the way they showed up.
Any further information on anything that they could add to this whole thing?
I would just like to show people. You got to take people out truly and show people what the hell's going on, or else they really don't know. And because the people don't know, they can help facilitate it and make it worse, because they don't know what's going on or how they're used, how that person in your area specifically used. Are they pulling energy or are they bringing it to the area, So
what should people do, and what should people not do in order to come up with the best solution for humanity on this?
You have to know where these ley lines are. I say we can deputize people, so to speak, find the quadrants. If every area that you go to is like a huge parking lot, a huge square, a 1 mile by mile, use your intuition. Where are they sucking the energy from? And then roll things. You can get creative and roll, how about, blue cobalt bowling balls with 0-point fuses? What about that? And then can we intrinsically link the den that we neutralize and intrinsically link it to the other dens on the earth and neutralize it? And then take the negative energy from that negative polarized field at 19.5 and kind of use it as like an Aikido. Use their inverted energy back on them to set us free. You follow?
Have you spoken to any of the other people who've been involved with this, which is still around?
No, Miles. No one. I've never spoken to anyone. You're the first guy that call. My intuition is say, call Miles, call Miles. That's what I did. Get in touch with you. I never talked to anyone. No one knows me.
Well, they will now.
Well, good.
We're just going to call you
because
Peter.
Like,
I mean, do we want to use your full name? And this is very important.
No,
okay,
just
Peter.
That's right.
Well, this is a sort of an introduction. We're sort of talking for the very first time.
I'll even pay you're an awesome guy. I've seen your videos and how you interview people, and you've interviewed like Max and all those. We have another beautiful house about an hour upstate New York. I mean, if I can get you, I'd even pay for your flight. Well,
right now, nobody's going anywhere out of this country. We're under lockdown. Nobody could leave the UK.
Are you really?
Yeah, we can't go anywhere.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how brainwashed they are, Miles. I fight with people. But the mask, I always fight with them. I'm not wearing no mask.
It's illegal to leave this country. Illegal. It's I think unless you own a house abroad, which conveniently his father does. I'm being cynical now. But it's
unbelievable.
So explain a little bit more, if you have anything further to say. What have we covered everything you want to say at the moment?
No, okay. I have, but it's like that. When they said like the bleeds start to come through, like in your 30s, okay, I can go after I'd rather see in person do an interview too, but I can go on list. I have memories of being on black helicopters with kids, okay, and flying, okay, literally flying in like Red Rock, like Sedona, okay. Yeah. That's a whole nother story, but you're in Sedona and Red Rock, and it's as big as if
Red
you're
Rock,
standing
just for
on
people, Red Rock is a canyon outside Las Vegas. Sedona is in Arizona. So
right,
the two totally different places.
I have memories of flying in a helicopter with other kids, and the floor, as size of a football field, the floor opens up and you fly into it, the chains on this thing to lower are like huge coil, like a snail, like a coil, like a snail.
A
Huge
worm?
things.
Are you talking like a worm drive?
Yes, and these things lower these chains, and you fly into the facility in a helicopter, but fly into it. It's unbelievable.
And is that in
The
Red
whole
Rock?
floor. Yes, it was like in a Red Rock area, and the floor opened up, and you fly into the facility. The facility was underground. Okay, so they were taking me and using me for operations. I can assure you.
Can you name any of those operations or describe any of them?
I don't know. All I can tell you is they use me specifically, not as like an assassin to kill people, but they use my consciousness to locate things. They use me as a probe to locate things. And then they use others, to do assassins and other. What is that?
What sort of things were you asked to locate? I
don't know. That's the thing. Those memories don't come through like that. But I know they use me. For instance, okay, this when I'm in Colorado, I'm talking to a woman. They can, from a distance, they can hear what I'm saying, and then they can decode it on a computer. They can see what I'm seeing and listen to what I'm saying. Okay, and this whole thing was released. Okay, COVID.
If I said the thing, they can see with your eyes and hear with your ears. Is that
yes?
So what about this COVID thing again?
Okay, if you notice that it was released in Italy and then South Korea on a Wednesday when this whole COVID thing started. Okay.
Yeah.
It was 2 days after President's Day last year. Okay. Italy and South Korea, because I'm having conversations with the woman about Italy and South Korea. They released the whole COVID thing off the information from what I say, Miles, as crazy as that sounds. They released it in Italy first and then South Korea. I know that they did it. I know they do this. Okay.
Well, that's what you say, but how would we be able to verify any of that information? Because the fact checkers and YouTube and Facebook, they just say that's not happening. That didn't happen. We're going to give you a strike.
Well, it did because I don't even follow the news. I never watch television. I never watch TV. There's never a television in my house, but I do a poke. And I listened, and I asked the lead for the truth. That's how this thing got released. It started in Italy, and then South Korea, and then it got released. So they're because they don't create. They just mimic us, okay? They mimic us. That's the only thing because of their operating system.
Explain that. What do you mean by that? And who's they?
Okay,
again?
Because if this entity, so to speak, this military-industrial complex is a reptilian faction, then the reptilians cannot create because of who they are. They can only mimic the humans and then do it off us, get the information. We put the information out there, and then they mimic us and then use our information against us. That's what they do. Just like the Democratic Party, they do the same thing. They're just mimickers.
Why do you particularly refer to the Democratic Party? Surely they're all basically the same thing. Republicans, Democrats.
Well, they're two factions of the same thing, right? They want the scramble, they want the open borders because they're complicit. They take the narcotics money. The narcotics money's used to pay for the underground facilities. So they work with the cartels. They want the borders open in the scramble because they're complicit in the narcotics trade. We all know that. Okay.
Well, knowing that and having hearsay, do you have any evidence again to support any of those sorts of claims that you're making?
Oh, yes. The CIA, I can assure you, I was dating a woman, okay? A Colombian woman, and the boyfriend that she dated right before me, he was a CIA agent. He was a Latin CIA agent, okay? Worked with other CIA agents. Okay, she dated him, went to parties, and all they do is traffic cocaine into the country, right here in New Jersey. They train others, put rings, and they move they move in a lot of cocaine. Okay, and it's the CIA that does it. Okay.
Now that's the sort of stuff that's we've seen that on films, we've seen that on lots of other stories.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have anything there that you could actually nail, which would actually nail it as new information on that?
No, because everyone knows that. Okay, that's pretty much common knowledge. But the Democrats take the drug money that they're funded by drug money because it pays for them. Well, how are the Democratic coffers always flush with cash? Does anyone ask those questions?
Well,
Because they're taking drug money.
These are very controversial things you're saying about a political party in the United States, and I mean, this is just hearsay. So
Right.
we can't. That's what you're saying. I can't say
Right.
that, but
No.
it's easy to say. But how would you come up with any evidence? Would you point to anything that you would say is any evidence that would be able to fact check that?
Right. No, it's just I know that they do this. That's why they want the open borders and everything, because they take the drug money. And how do you stop that? Trump knows about that stuff, and then the child trafficking and all that stuff. Where are they getting all the money from? They working at 7-Eleven? Are they running the lemonade stand out of a shoebox to get the money? You know?
Okay, well, those are sort of things that are in the public domain that you're
right.
Yeah,
I don't even want to touch on that because that's a side thing of what's happening with this deep state and the military-industrial complex. I'm just explaining how they use me for these programs. Now I'm older in life, and now how I've developed these techniques or capabilities because who I am.
Okay, name the programs and name the techniques and capabilities.
The program I was used in, okay, we were known as digital children or star children, but specifically within those programs, I was used in a program we were known as Platinum Blues because we're descendants of Royal European bloodlines. They track the bloodlines. I believe it's Project Oak Tree when they were tracking the bloodlines from 1972.
Where do you get the name Project Oak Tree?
It was on the internet. I believe someone mentioned that the NSA was tracking bloodlines, looking for people that were born between, I believe, 1972 to 1978, and I was born at the end of 73. Okay, so I fall right in the middle there. Okay, and by the time I was 4 or 5 years old, they were already taking me to the underground base here.
Well, what about Oak Tree? Explain that.
Project Oak Tree. I believe that they were tracking the bloodlines of the mother. Okay, because remember the bloodline element is everything to these, not to me, to these whack jobs. To these whack jobs, the bloodline element's for because my mother, she's Rh negative. Okay, and apparently that's the rarest form, and they're Polish Ashkenaz. That Rh factor and the Polish Ashkenaz line, okay, has got some genetic chutzpah, so to speak, and the royal descendants come from the Germanic line on my father's side. Okay, and then couple that, that's why I was used genetically for those programs. 70, 80 kids. I'm a survivor. By the grace of God, I'm a survivor.
And do you have any names of any of the kids you were with?
No, I don't have any names of the kids.
Anything?
I don't, but I remember there were some girls. It just wasn't boys. There was girls there.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to get in touch with the other guy because he can bring some clarity for me. It seems like he knows about more.
Okay.
James.
You want to get in contact with some of the other guys or people involved.
Yes.
Do you have anybody personally in mind? Anybody in mind that you would like to sort of communicate? And because we want to keep you, you don't want people directly contacting you, that they would obviously contact me and then I'd put it on to you. Is that the way you want to do it?
That's fine. That's totally fine. Yeah.
So who are you looking for? I mean, have you heard of James Rink?
I heard, I watched like a video too, but I would rather talk the other guy, and you can't, that James Casbolt, he seems like he was using my program that he can answer a lot of questions for me. It's like says,
as we say, the understanding is that James is forbidden to be on social media, and
it's like what he says.
That's what we understand. It's like that doesn't mean we know. That's all we understand. That he certainly cannot talk to me, and he certainly cannot talk to anybody on Bases. That's my understanding. Although I have no formal notification of that. Right,
and like it's a genetic link. He says that the NSA can't even access it. The only people that can access it is the other part of the group. And he's like another part of me, James. He's a genetic link to me. You understand? When I can listen to this guy for kingdom come. You understand? He's like a genetic brother to me, so to speak, in that respect. Okay? It's unbelievable. When I heard his thing on George Norrie and the programs,
That's a long
it was like
time
the
ago.
fireworks. Yeah,
I think he
but
was
I just
talking about his book Agent Buried Alive, which is sort of a digital book. It's sort of out there in bits.
That's right.
Agent
And
Buried Alive.
and if you go to like it's 3 hours and 5 minutes. If you go to if you start at 2 hours and 18 minutes, then they start into in the project for the Platinum Blues, and he describes it. He describes the whole program
that
to
show
it.
from all those years ago in 2007, is that available somewhere?
It's still on there. Yeah, it's still on the internet. I just listened to it within 6 to 8 months ago. That's why I'm like calling you, because it's all making sense now.
Are you talking about Coast to Coast AM?
Yes, Coast to Coast AM, George Norrie, and it's an hour and 57 minutes. It's on YouTube.
Okay. Well, do you have anything? We've been running for about 50 minutes. Do you have anything you want to nail it down? Do you want anything further you want to say?
No, that just the shutting down the portal systems and the energy systems interdimensionally is a priority. It should be a priority to everyone, because you're not going to have. They're going to take everything unless these systems are shut down. And we've had so if you're saying the bad guys, if I want to know if the bad guys are winning, the good guys are winning here, especially in the greater New York area. They're not stealing our energy. The insectoids, the spiders, they're out of here. Okay, and that's very good. So if you're saying the dark winning of the light's winning. We just got to keep on mustering forward and doing it, and have more people that can do this, and then it would amplify it, and we shut them all down even more, because they got to be taking energy systems over in the UK, right, where you are. I mean, and if no one knows how to do it, if everyone's going to church and praying, what good is it if it's just siphoning your energy?
Okay.
So the good guys are winning, Miles. We're good. We're good. And we got a lot of Irish descendants in the neighborhood here, a lot of people from Ireland. So I'm hoping their genetic will assist us in annihilating them also, okay? Because they're strong people. The Irish people are good people. I have a lot of Irish friends.
If there's somebody that wanted to, if they want to contact you, that they can contact me.
Or you can give them. You contact you, or you have my cell phone number. That's just my cell phone number. They can text me. Yeah. They can shoot me a text saying, "Hi, I'm Mike," whatever. You can give out my number. That's fine, as long as they're on the level to you. I trust your decision.
I think I won't be putting it on this as such, but they can contact me. Putting phone numbers on things are not a good idea.
Yeah. And how you think Kerry? I mean, I watched Kerry's things over there, but she's changed a little. I don't know if something got to that.
Kerry Cassidy has, and this is where this is such a risky situation, because there's so much censorship now. Kerry Cassidy has been deplatformed. Her main channel on YouTube is gone, and her channel that she had on Vimeo has gone in the last week or two. So
really,
it's very she's and so it's the scale of censorship by the main things are absolutely horrendous.
Right.
And,
Jack Dorsey, Susan Wojcicki, all these tech Miles. We're right on. I understand. They're assholes. I mean,
that's your opinion. I couldn't possibly comment. Okay.
Okay.
Well, we'll call it a day on that. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
And if anybody wants to get
I just want to let you know, everyone in the UK, we're having good results in this New York area, and the light's winning. I can assure you it is the case.
Okay. Well, this is your witness statement.
That's right.
And we'll take it from there, and maybe hopefully good things will happen, and all the best.
Okay, Miles. I'll be in touch. Okay. You have a wonderful weekend.